I've been using ZO skincare for 8 weeks now, and I'm shocked. It actually reverses signs of aging. I literally have less wrinkles today than I did 8 weeks ago. So stick around because I'm going to show you everything I use, before and after pictures. So let's get started. So because of my background in aesthetics, I've always known the importance of taking care of my skin. And so I always have. I've used tretinoin for years and years, Retin-A, prescribed by my dermatologist. And then I sprinkle in a little this and a little that. But I have never committed to one medical grade line specifically fashioned by a knowledgeable provider for my exact skin needs. To be honest with you, I didn't believe it would make a difference. I didn't really think it would do that much. And it's expensive. So I know I would never have done it. The reason that I did is because my son and daughter-in-law opened up a med spa, and that's the line they carry. So if I didn't have that added incentive to support my kids, I would never have tried it. But it's one of those things. Once you know, you can't go back. Okay, so regardless that I knew I was going to be doing the ZO line, I still wanted to find out for myself exactly what this was. I'm putting it on my skin, so I want to know all the ins and outs about it. So I did my due diligence and I started to research. And when I did start researching, I was quite intrigued and I got very excited to start trying it. This line is one that is upgraded a lot. They have a lot of training that they not only provide for the providers, but they really encourage the providers to really be up to date on the product. Dr. Obaji himself is still a practicing physician, and this dude is really passionate and into skincare needs. Really is a quality line. I would say the reason number one that I think it's important to do one line and not mix it up with different lines is that they make each product to enhance the next one. So when I was given the lineup of what products I needed to use, I was given specific orders as to what order to put them in. So this one came first, and this one came next, and so much so. And from my research, I knew that was important. So I actually got my little labeler out and I labeled each one of them. A lot of my friends will ask me, what's the one product? What's that one magical product that you think we should get? And I don't think there is one magical product. And I get that they want that because there's a lot of steps and it's expensive. So I get wanting just one product, but I think the magic is in using the whole line, just because they're formulated in that way to work together. So if you're really considering doing a medical grade line such as ZO, then I think you need to take note of a couple of things. Number one, I would say don't dip your toes in, don't dabble. If you're gonna do it, dive in head first and go for it. If you want to see dramatic results, I think that's what you need to do. Number two, you need to be consistent. There are a lot of steps, it's a lot, and if you're not willing to put that effort in, then I don't think you're gonna see the dramatic results. You might see results even just using one of the products or a couple of the products, but if you're going for that dramatic result, I think you need to do it exactly the way they tell you to do it. Every morning and every night, I do my little routine like my life depends on it. I never miss, I never skip, and I do them all. In the morning, I love it because I just love that feeling of a nice, clean, fresh face. But at night, not so much. I'm tired and I zoom through it, I push through it, I get it done. And that's it. And then the next thing you really need to know, and this I think is a big one, you need to be aware of this before you go in. There's an acclimation period. I didn't have a really strong acclimation period. Like there was a couple of weeks with, a lot of redness and a little bit of flaking. But from what I've seen, that period can be difficult. Some people I've heard call it the ugly stage. So you've got to know that there might be some downtime where you're not wanting to let people see you looking like that. You got to push through the ugly to get to the pretty. That's just one of those things. If you're going to do it, know that there's that period and you just have to dig your heels in and do it, get through it. And then the other thing that I've heard people say is that they almost dread the routine. It's intense. So go in knowing that. The results are worth it, in my opinion, although I didn't have that severe acclimating period, but that's because I'm 59 years old. I've been using Tretinoin for years. I've done a lot of procedures on my face. So, if you've done things like that, you might have my experience, but if you're got pretty virgin skin that hasn't done a lot of stuff, you're definitely going to go through that difficult stage, but push through it and the results are worth it. And then another one that I think is really important, and this is top of the list too of importance, find a provider that is knowledgeable, not like a salesperson, someone who knows skin, who is going to take the time to consult with you, find out your skin needs, and will help you. They want to see you succeed. Somebody like that. I'll show you what I use today, but they just have so many things that will work for one thing and another thing. If you have melasma or rosacea, like there are specific things that really help. And if it helps me so much with my wrinkles, I'm pretty sure it's going to help you with those other issues if you have those. Usually too, I think they have nowadays online consultations. My son's office might even have that. I'll check with him. If he does have one of those online consultations, I'll link him below. And then you can just order all your products online too. Easy peasy, you never even have to leave your house. Okay, so what differences have I seen? To begin with, before I started, right in here, I was really noticing enlarged pores. Within days, I saw a difference there. Now, I am going to give credit to one product for that. I think it's the cleansing polish that did it. And the name serves it right. It polishes your skin. You get in there and it just cleans those pores out and your skin feels like spick and span clean. So within days, I noticed that diminish significantly. And then right in here, under my eyes, like I have actually really pretty deep lines there. And if I put a concealer, like it would pull up in there, but that has changed for sure. And probably like my whole eye area, I would say. And you can see that in the before and after. I'll put them at the end so you can dissect and study those before and afters if you want. And then probably just like an overall improvement of my appearance would be what I've personally noticed. Probably the most telling is the compliments that I get. And it's interesting because people don't seem to really know what's different about me. They can't seem to pinpoint. They can't seem to put their finger on exactly what it is, but they seem to think I look better now, I guess, than I used to. It's funny. I keep getting asked what new foundation I'm using. And to be honest, I'm usually not wearing foundation when I've asked that question. So, there you go. That's interesting. Okay, so let's start with my little routine. So I start with the gentle cleanse. So this is what the gentle cleanser looks. And you see I have number 1 because you start with cleansing. And I didn't used to cleanse my face in the morning, but now I do. I was told to do it twice a day and I'm following the rule. This is the polishing cleanser. And it's a blue color and it has a very fine, and you can make it, if you put more water, it's less of a grit, but it's a very fine grit. And I like that feeling of really getting in there and scrubbing it. So I enjoyed this one. This is definitely one that makes me feel alive in the morning. Love it. Then comes the acid wipes. And I've heard people say that they they cut them in half, you know, just to save some money and make them last a little longer. They come with a lot of products, so I would say you definitely can do that. Carolyn can't do that because she keeps adding on body parts. Started with my face, went down to my neck, and now I'm doing my chest. So I need that whole round. I can't be scrimping. I gotta go all in on that one. And also that acid pad, I think might be really stingy during the acclimating period. I remember even for me, when I would put that on, that would kind of sting. Then next up comes the firming serum. Then I have the Daily Power Defense. And you'll notice that in my lineup, there really isn't moisturizer, but this one does say that it does hydrate. Then next comes the Growth Factor Serum. This might be different than what you might get. This might be something that you can only get if you spent 26 hours in labor. This might be a perk for that reason, that it's a little bigger than what you might get. But so the Growth Factor Serum is one I think that everyone thinks that's the holy grail, that's the magic, and it might be. But I believe this little guy needs his buddies to lead up so that he can come in and do his magic. So I mean, it might work fine on its own. I think to get those dramatic results, he needs his little buddies. Also, it has a synthetic fragrance in it just because growth factor serums don't smell good. So they do have to put that in, or else none of us would want to put this on our face. It's derived from plants. But yeah, so they do put in that synthetic fragrance. In the rest of their products, it's an essential oil fragrance. Then it comes with this that you can, it's the same product, but it comes for around the eyes. So it has the little applicator that is really smooth, and you can get right in, right under your eyelashes there, and right in everywhere. So I don't think I would repurchase this, but I will just keep it and use it as the applicator. And then I end with this Radical Night Repair. The one I use is a 1%. I know they do have less potent ones. And they didn't tell me about this, but I just found out on my own that there's an even stronger one. And I think it's called Wrinkle Texture Repair. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna ask if I can add that into my little routine. Because go big or go home, right? That's the way I figure. And then, of course, sunblock. You know that you've got to be putting that sunblock on a regular day. If you're doing something like this, sunblock is essential. And I always wear the big hat and the sunglasses and everything. I mean, I'm kind of scared of the sun at this point. I mean, I know the sun is good for you and you need to get your vitamin D, so it's a slippery slope, you know, how much to avoid the sun. But I mean, if I'm taking a long walk in the summertime, like I've got long sleeves on and I've got sun gloves on. Okay, so I'm gonna put up the before and after pictures. That's really basically it. That's everything that I do. This is my journey. It's probably not exactly yours. So you really want to find out what products would best work for you. If you comment below, I will try my very best to help you in any way I can, but obviously I can only help you with my own personal experience. So that's it. If you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, because we have this fun little group here of us older gals that talk about everything related to this new amazing journey in our lives. So please subscribe, say hi in the comments, and you know it warms my heart if you give me a like. So talk to you later. Bye.